So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Mars in the Ascendant for Pisces Ascendant people. As in what happens when Mars is in the Ascendant, rules the second house and rules the ninth house, which is ninth house of the father, learning, wisdom, your gurus, pilgrimage, long distance travels, luck, and then second house of family, what money, wealth, banking, food. Okay, so first thing you see that Mars naturally is in the ascendant, so there's going to be some form of dominance in this person. There's going to be some form of desire to control things. It may not fully come out, but it will always come out. But the thing is, the only time it comes out, because Mars is in a Jal Tattva, meaning it's in a water sign. Its element is water. The frustration through the family and father is when this person is going to feel that particular anger that comes out, or anything that is signified by the second and ninth house that I mentioned. Usually, the individual, and especially in the female's chart also, the husband, they live in a fantasy land. They have abstract thinking, abstract thoughts. They always feel they're in their own la-la land, meaning it's like a person wants to be sometimes a hermit, isolated, secluded. They'll have unreachable goals. Why? Because there's too much involvement of the fantasy. This particular Mars also shows that a person either gets cheated through family or in their money and banking through someone. But the problem is, it is the person who was responsible for why they were cheated. Maybe they didn't do their homework. Maybe they didn't look into things in details. Maybe they got the contract, they signed it, they never read the fine print. So a person naturally gets cheated within this particular scope of things. On the other hand, there will be, because of this Mars in the Ascendant, due to some travel, donation, or expense, there will be controversies and conspiracies that become active in this person's life or in their father's life. This person will also waste money more on themselves. Okay, they will have this notion of wanting to get the resources so they can spend it in places that they think it's important. But when the world sees it, when everybody else sees it, they'll be thinking that it's a waste of time, waste of money. The one place this Mars does really well is when a person usually has this agility towards marathon running, or being in some form of athletics. But for that, Mercury's position is important. Mercury and Venus both, their position is important to see. Okay, and especially you will see whenever this person runs, this person naturally feels powerful. Also, usually this person can have a lot of money, huge money, especially if you will see they're living some place near either a fire station, police station, okay, or they can be even near a army barracks. Okay, you know what an army barracks is where all the soldiers, Marines, whatever, they stay at. And then they have like other neighborhoods around that particular area. The other thing that becomes very important with this particular Mars is that many of their desires, and this is where the disappointment comes into place. They have so many desires that most of them don't come true. They have 20 big desires they want to accomplish. Otherwise, they don't feel satisfied. But out of those 20, only two become fruitful. 3 become fruitful. And now imagine if a person instead of 20 had only 3 desires and 3 became fruitful, right? Because it's more practical, realistic. But there's disappointments in that desire. The desirable results that they want do not come. But then the thing is, we have to look practically. What is that desire that they were looking for? Usually I get people with Mars in the Ascendant in Pisces. Can you please tell me, will I be a billionaire? I want to know if I'm going to be a billionaire. So I already know they're not going to be a billionaire because they're living in that fantasy land of Pisces. And you will see, especially with this particular Mars, their entire focus, their entire energy goes towards accumulation of wealth, accumulation of money. You will see with this person, When there's money in the bank, and this is actually even a remedy for this person, when they have savings, they feel powerful, they get powerful, they become motivated. But if they keep nullifying their savings, it'll not only affect their self-esteem, it'll also affect their health. Your health is dependent upon your savings that you accumulate. Like, especially on an average, I would always recommend people who have normal careers, normal job, and yes, you're not making minimum wage, because this is not for you. Because of course I know it's a struggle, but those who are established have minimum of 5 to 10,000 in the bank that you don't touch. Whether it's in an investment account, whether it's in your bank account, you must have accumulation. What? Because of the fact Mars rules the second house. Second house is what? Tattva Agni. You need fire, right? And second house is also your right eye. Second house, okay, would also shows what you eat. And remember, second house is not just eye. What does the eye makes you do? It's known as eyesight. Do you know, in order for you to have vision, 12th and second lord need to be very, very important. Why? Not because I'm not talking about eye and these cool glasses that I'm wearing. I'm talking about the vision to value something. You must have the ability to see value in something, otherwise money cannot come in. You have to see value in something, which is the second house. Why is 12th house also the left eye? You need to have the ability to take that value and invest it and grow it. You have to have the other side, which is about also looking out for other people, which is what giving, donations. These are the two lenses that help you to get the goal, okay? Because the perspective is going straight in the middle. The other thing we also see, one of the negative quality of this particular Mars is they will nitpick on their spouse. They will critic everything they look at with their spouse, will be very critical. Will be always error picking their spouse. Today you're not wearing this right. Today you're not doing this right. Look at what you did here. Look at what you did there. Instead of very first thing in the morning trying to give you a nice compliment, it'll be always some kind of a correction or systematic error picking that will take place. And they think that is just normal. Why? Because I witnessed and actually I would say it is normal. Because universe and cosmos brings them this situation where they are always going to have something has happened and now they have to criticize this person about it. Like, for example, purposely they'll find a spouse who will do something that is against what they're thinking is right. So so in a way, both those people are right. This person is right to criticize them. That person is also right to do what they had to. And this is the game that this Pisces Mars has to play. And Pisces Mars is very, very possessive. They feel like they need to control something and hold something. They feel like until they have possessed something, until they want to become responsible for many things. Yes, on the other hand, okay, there's this duality with this particular Mars. On one hand, they will protect the mother. On the other hand, they will fight with the mother. And these fights will happen whenever this person travels, or they'll happen over communication devices. And this person, they will make up some certain things and stories, and they will get into disputes with their in-laws. And their disputes and criticism will always come due to the money habits of the spouse. And and don't think that this person is because the spouse is not saving and spending money. No. This person will maybe a type of person that's always thinking like, hey, you gotta spend money. You need this. We need this. We need this. And here you are. You're always saving. Why? What's the point of saving if we're not gonna use it? If we're not gonna spend it? If we're not gonna enjoy life? And it could be vice versa. We got to save money for investment. We got to save money for our retirement. We got to save money for our rainy day. And here you are spending. So this is where this, juggling happens. This gymnastics takes place this roller coaster takes place. Okay, but one thing I will tell you, like especially this person is always energized towards investing. I want to invest in something. And yes, if somebody approaches them when they need something, this person will give them. Without hesitation, they will give somebody that money that they need or that thing that they need. And especially if it's Ketu's with Mars, they'll blindly do it. And especially if Ketu's with Mars, whatever they give, you cannot get it back. Somebody came and borrowed $300 from you, that's it. Gone. They're not coming back. Especially you will see if Mars and Ketu are together, then southeast direction will have some issue. And this is why they will not get the money back. But like I said, with Mars in Pisces, the energy of this Mars gets balanced out through physical athleticism, especially when their use of feet is there. Okay? For example, you have Mercury, Rahu, Mars in the ascendant. Most definitely this person is going to go for things like jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. They love to, like especially this Mars is oblivion to pain. And you have to understand, sometimes, yes, it can also be for a female as well. But mainly this can be more approached with a male chart. Okay, yes, we have kickboxer females and all that, but that's not so widely, available in the world. So a woman, a female, will be more dealing with those particular battles in a more internal psychological way, fighting that battle through those things. Okay. Now, Mars in the ascendant doesn't mean that marriage is good or bad, because Mars is a ninth lord. It is going to bring some benefit and some fortune within the marriage. But the rest of it, we have to see. Without the chart, the whole chart, where Venus is, where Dharakarka is, where this and that is, you can't really make a determination towards those things. And usually such people will like to spend their time, especially like going on ships and cruises. Ships and cruises is another point to energize this person's own motivation. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Mars in the ascendant in Pisces. If you're new to my channel, I'm booked. You got to apply. Fill out an application, and I'll look at your application to see if you should subscribe. Do not hit that subscribe button, please. Once you have approved, then you do it. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.